Everybody's gonna come on. Everybody's gonna come on. Yeah, I ate chicken and rice today. Yeah, no
you don't.
shit.
You don't really want to talk about the same shit over and over and over again.
No.
But it's been.
I had taco salad today.
Did you?
Yeah, pretty cool, right?
From where?
Taco Bell.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it was. We'll switch it up for you.
Yeah, man. Arash was doing my diet for a minute, and
chicken and rice. Got tired of it.
Yeah, I got
the occasional avocado.
Yeah, salad and shit.
I hired for 1 month. I got what's his face, Falk.
Oh, Factory coached me. He did my 2 preps.
Well, whatever. But
yeah.
So I don't care if you're gonna give me. I don't care if you're gonna give me a copy and paste. Take the fucking name off of it.
Oh no,
dude! It was like Mario something. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Yeah, so crazy. He copied and pasted the name on. I didn't respond. It's like, buddy, what's going on? And I kind of cheated a little bit about a week after my my show. I did I'm like off season, starting pick. So he thought that was my starting point. Okay. Completely fucking cheating. He's like, wow, dude, you're gonna do amazing. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be fat in 3 weeks.
We are live.
Okay, cool. Even
we are
better.
live. We can kick that off with that.
That's how I feel about fact.
That's okay. I have similar feelings, honestly.
It's all right.
John, why don't you kick this off for us?
So, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the 11th episode of The Voice
and Rizzles. Today, we got Big Britton Kelly in the house.
Britton Kelly, what up, what up?
How you doing, baby? You good?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Life is good. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I'm with you guys. Can't complain.
That's the most important.
Did not eat chicken and rice before I got here.
Didn't.
The guy next to me might have, but I did not.
I think the guy to your right, because the guy to your left had grocery store sushi like a slut.
The guy to your right's jealous of both of you.
Was it in a plastic container?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course. And the avocado.
You're a piece of shit.
The avocado and the avocado just started to brown.
Might as well dive right into it. Right?
He's getting red already. He's getting red.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, you've been doing some crazy shit.
I have.
And crazy, when I say crazy, I mean awesome shit. So let me rephrase that.
Some of it, I appreciate it.
But I want to get to just we met at Bev's a long time ago.
Met at Bev's, yes. Very cool intro.
Training and kicking ass and
bodybuilding and training people and doing what I've been training people since I'm 17 years old, so that's nothing new. But definitely meeting you guys at Bev's and getting into that about 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, man. I joined in 2012.
Yeah, it's funny. It was funny with bodybuilding that actually I've always trained athletes and I've turned a lot of people pro, a lot of scholarships. And I got to a point where I was like, I say 32. I was leaving work one day. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm like, I'm getting everybody burned. We're getting to the pro level. We're getting scholarships. I'm like, what about me? I'm like, I need to compete in something. So had nothing to do with bodybuilding. I actually really used to make fun of it. I used to see the guys back in Deer Park Gold's gym days. It's just like in their underwear flexing. I'm like, get alive, dude. You know what I mean? Just wasn't it. It was really funny. One of my best friends from college was bodybuilding. I used to make fun of him. It was really funny. So I spent this one Saturday driving around like, what am I doing with my life? I'm like, I work. That's cool. Everybody benefits, except I go home to my dogs, which is pretty damn cool.
That's amazing.
I said, you know what? I found the only thing that was open on a Saturday around 3 o'clock, and this is a little jiu-jitsu studio in Deer Park. I won't name which one it is. I decided, you know what? I got to compete in something. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start fighting. And at 32 fucking years old, you do not get into mixed martial arts. Okay. So after about a month of much smaller men just beating the shit out of me, I decided that I was not into this anymore. And this is kind of funny. I had one buddy that I knew bodybuilded, actually my best friend, Dave Schachterly, huge coach from Texas. Awesome dude. Actually had 12 girls turn pro at Team U a couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Converse. So he's a pro at it.
He sweeped it.
Yeah, he did, and he continues to. I hit him up. I was like, yo, I'm going to do a show next week. He's like, what do you mean you're going to do a show next week? I said, I don't know. I feel like competing. I look good. He's like, dude, you got to learn the poses. I said, no, I'm going to do a men's physique. And he laughed at me so hardcore, and he's like, you got to be kidding me. So, yeah, about a 3 or 4 week prep, I decided to do the Long Island, and I did. I put my little shorts on.
So with your board shorts on?
Got nice and tan. I did Paul's show, actually. It was very cool.
Yeah.
Paul helped me through it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, back then it was the show.
It was actually a bigger show than that's all. Anyway,
no, he did a really good job promoting those shows.
Yeah, it was fun. It was pretty big. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty big. I put the board shorts on, and then Steve Weinberger came up to me during what was it? What do they call that? After prejudging? Yeah. He goes, what are you doing? I was like, look at your legs. So no shit. 1 week later, I entered the Atlantic States. This is when it was in the city, Tribeca, really cool event.
Yes, that's I helped Steve
did
on
not
this.
know one mandatory pose. Did not know any of them. I'm not kidding you. So I was backstage. I'm all tanned up. Everything. I looked sick. It was the best I ever looked, which was hysterical. My first show with no coach. Figure that one out. I was bone dry. It was insane. So I was in the locker room like, yo, bro, what's that first one? And like, people thought I were icing them. The guys thought I was icing them. I'm like, no, bro, I just came out there like flexing my abs, no pump, nothing. Like, awful. The worst thing you've ever seen. And after prejudging, I got these guys like, yo, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know the poses. They're like, you could win this whole show. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's really funny. Of course, those are all the pictures you'll find of me on Google. Google away, you see some awful posing with an amazing physique. So anyway, we're doing the prejudging the burgers, walking around New York City looking like a freak. I was like, what am I doing? But I've always loved the stage. I'm fearless around people and talking and stuff. So we went back at the night show, and I don't know what I'm doing. I only had a week to put this together. I bought my posing suit the Thursday before. The girl gave it to me. I'm like, that's it? This
is what I gotta wear?
This is it? And she's laughing. Everybody's laughing at my whole story.
I'm doing bodybuilding, not Chippendales.
Yeah, nobody really knows what it is. So for like 3 days before, I'm like, all right, 1, 2. I'm trying to remember these. Did nothing. So I just threw on some house music and just started dancing like a motherfucker. And I remember being on stage and all these girls going crazy. And after like a minute, I walked off. I was like, wow, this is fun. I was like, I really like this. This is fun. And I went on I did I think 11 shows the next year. I think I did about 22 shows in 6 years. I went on a tear. Did the first show. I was like, all right, here's my goal. I want to qualify for nationals, go get smacked, and then I'm going to shut this thing down. Qualified many times, got smacked many times. I think the best I did was 6 at Junior USA's. But I took off the man. It was something I sucked at. I remember, do you want me to let you talk at all, or do you want to hear it?
No, this is great.
No, you
This
keep
is
going.
great.
You keep going.
This is pretty funny. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a rookie to this sport, but I'm so excited. I'm competing in something. So I email, what am I supposed to do? They're you send your shots to Bev's gym, send them your shots, and they'll critique you. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I send these shots, and I get an email back thinking it's just some corporate, employee or something. They're like, well, your legs are too small, your chest is too small, your posing is horrific, but your conditioning is phenomenal. And I was like, okay, thanks. I said, can you recommend a posing coach? Because I knew I was going to do this because I just knew I didn't have the perfect body, none of that. But I was just like, this is something I can get better at, and I have full control. It was the first time in my life where I was like, wait, nobody can fuck this up for me. Doesn't matter what the weather, nothing. This is all on me. I.e., fell in love. Next 6 years of my life dedicated to this. But anyway, I got the message back. I didn't know that it was Bev. She's like, oh, well, you could pose with me or my husband. We're both pretty good at this. I don't know, Bev. I don't know this.
Yeah, you don't know the name back then.
I'm like, okay, Mrs. Francis, when can you get started? She's like, about 3 months before your next show. She's like, come in. I said, all right, can I make an appointment now? She's like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm not stopping. So she's like, all right, she already knew I was psychotic. So
we all are. It's
I
okay.
actually waited. I'm one of those guys that gets very out of shape and then very in shape. I've done that my whole life. I fluctuate. I enjoy the battle of going back up and down. So I'm all or nothing. I'm trying to learn how to do that a little bit differently. It's not working. It's just kind of my personality. So I let it sucks in some things, but
Embrace it.
why not?
It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Because
Yep.
when I'm on, I'm on. So that being said, I'm either 280 or 220. Anyway, so I'm a rookie still, and this is when the posing room was right in the
right in the
right
middle.
when you walk in. So there's no hiding.
It was the big
Yeah.
open
So
room.
I wasn't working with the coach because I knew everything, and I'm completely out of shape. Within like 2 months, I completely took myself out of shape. Nobody told me that when you're out of shape, you don't wear your fucking posing suit anymore. So here I am, about 270, this little black posing suit. People are looking at me. I'm like, what? What are you looking at? Not realizing that a pair of underwear or shorts would have been just fine. But anyway, very cool the way Bev embraced me, because she said very quick, and she's like, Britton, she goes, you know what I like about you? She goes, you say you're going to do something and you do it. She goes, I've seen for so many years guys that say they're going to do this, say that they're going to do that, look exactly the same year after year. She got a lot of respect for me, and I gained the same for her. So I'd say one of the coolest things walking away from bodybuilding recently is having her as a friend. Like
That's
we do
awesome.
volunteer stuff together. She's a friend. There's so much more to her than bodybuilding, so it's really cool to see that. You know, you go anywhere in the world, there's Bev Francis shirts. Meanwhile, like we talk about pollution. We do a volunteer. I took her last Thanksgiving. We did some meal volunteer work, meal delivery in the city. Me and her, super cool person. So I will say, bodybuilding, God, it's highs and it's lows or whatever. But one of my favorite things is, you know, some of the relationships I made out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You meet some exceptional people.
You meet some exceptional people. You meet some shitty people too.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I was going to say too.
I am confident in myself. I don't love myself like many people do. I don't need to see pictures of all your workouts, all your meals. Unfortunately, with social media, I think it really crushed my allure to it, because I don't want to. I don't want to see your naked body every day. Like, I see what you look like. You're here, you're here, and what sucks, it's actually some people I really like and I respect as friends, and then I turn my phone on. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, it's someone
stop.
half naked every 4.5 seconds.
Put a sweatshirt on. Put a shirt on. Put a picture of your dog up. Like, do something other than take your. I don't want to see your fucking nipples anymore. You know?
Yeah, man.
So was this time for Nick's
Nick's
booty pick rant?
Booty pick rant. It's becoming a standard.
His episode booty pick rant.
There's like, every episode I bitch about social media. And
Yeah,
it
that's
was
cool.
you know it was started as something that was meant to be artistic and something fun,
Yeah.
and it's turned into just an egomaniac type of a platform. And
Yeah, it
it's-
also threw an entire election.
yeah, and it's honestly fucking exhausting to watch.
Yeah, it is.
From all aspects of it.
Yeah.
So for me, I find that, you know, ever since I started doing the photography and the videos, you know,
Yeah.
I'll throw out my clients, and even though I have a separate page for my business, I still use my main page as what I'm doing currently
Yeah.
with people I'm working with and stuff like that. I used to do the same thing. I used to post myself every fucking day, selfie, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And as much as it may have been, you know, progress in my mind, and I'm doing air quotes around progress, although it may have felt like that, it really wasn't. It was like to get attention.
Yeah, no, I actually I don't do it. I mean, I use my Instagram a lot now with my current job I'm doing, but I scroll back a little bit and I'm like, what a fucking loser. I'm like, only 31 days out, you know, only the best. And I'm just like, what the hell, man? I'm actually going to tell you something. It's pretty funny, and I probably shouldn't say it, but I will. I remember one time I was getting ready for Junior USA's, right? Not to go win my fucking pro card, because I wanted to compete at a higher level. I always enjoyed that. Like, if I'm gonna get smacked, I want to get smacked by somebody good. That's just the way that I am. I'm not afraid of losing. I've never been that way. I've lost a lot in my life, you know. I've gotten the shit kicked out of me, and I'm okay with that. It made me who I am. But I remember being about 3 weeks out, walking through Bev's. Kai Green's there. He's like, yo, you're looking like a beast, man. I was like, shit, thanks, bro. Like, I had talked to Kai years before, never about anything other than bodybuilding. So he's like, oh, yeah, you know, what do you got going next? You know, I'm like, yeah, going to Junior USA. He's like, yeah, you gonna go win? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get fucking smacked. He's like, oh, that's not a champion mindset. And I'm like, what do you mean, dude? I'm like, I am a champion. I said, I'm going to compete in bodybuilding. That doesn't make me the champion. I'm already a champ in my world. Bro, an hour and a half, we sat there. Steve was looking at us like, wow, these guys are still going. Just going back and forth. He's like, you have a loser mentality. I'm like, no, I don't. I said, you needing to win is a loser mentality. I was like, you're the one getting beat every year. I'm not the I'm just saying, but it wasn't a bad thing.
No, I know.
He was
Right,
trying to
right,
get through to me, and I was trying to get through to him.
Yeah, he's very big on the thoughts become things
And
movement.
I get that.
And I get it
I
too,
like
and
that.
it's
I get
positive
that.
reinforcement.
I get that, but I don't like when somebody takes second place in a show and go, oh, I lost my show. What? No, you beat 30 fucking people.
Yeah.
You're a winner, dude. Or you didn't win the overall, so you didn't win the show. Dude, no, that's a loser mentality.
They still gave you a trophy.
So funny part is, me and Kai, I said, you know, let's agree to disagree, and that's fine. Okay? 3 days fucking later, he's crying on Facebook about how he can't do the Olympia. You fucking pussy. You just talked to me about, I'm not a champion. I'm not a champion. You just pulled out. You're crying on social media. So it really changed the way I look at him. I'll still say what's up. I still got a lot of respect for Kai, but that's just a perfect example of how this crap goes, and just how diluted bodybuilding is. I mean, if you need a piece of plastic to make yourself a champion, that's cool. But that's to me, that's a weakness. I'm already a champion. I've come in dead last and looked great. I've won. I've got third place competing against 2 other people and got congratulations and a sword. I was like, I got last place.
Oh, you got the sword? What show did you do to get the sword?
Junior USA to get a sword, bro. It's pretty cool. Even when you get smacked.
Do it and bring that sword home, John.
Because if you get smacked and there's just 3 of you, you still get a sword. So yes, I'm promoting the Junior USAs if you want a sword.
So if you take first, do you still get a sword?
Same sword.
Ooh, same sword.
Same sword, yes.
Oh, you don't get it like, it's not like bedazzled or anything?
Nah, it just looks cooler because you're bigger, I guess.
All right, so I'm going to take top 5.
Do it.
And we're going to bedazzle it.
Yes.
Hang it up in the studio.
Yes.
That's it.
So yeah, that's my joint with the bodybuilding. I've, like I said, met a lot of cool people. I'm on.
I got something for you real quick, though.
Go ahead, hit me.
Here, you guys are like that. Placed 17th in bikini starter pack. look at the last one.
That's great.
Learning experience.
That is great.
That is my absolute favorite.
Yeah, that
the
is.
The crying in the pillow.
Oh, that is amazing.
You're missing
the Smith machine.
Oh no, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Nick, the one thing it's missing is that every bikini girl that competes brings her whole fucking family.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They get jackets made.
I like nationally qualified in your Instagram handle. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Or you're 21 fucking years old and you're a public figure.
Yeah.
Because you did the
I was
mess.
actually going to switch mine from photographer to public figure.
Yeah,
now that we have the podcast.
That makes sense.
I'm basically famous now.
Yeah, fuck it.
Oh, yeah, maybe, obviously.
I told my mom the other day.
Talking to me.
I told my mom the other day. I said, I told my mom the other day. I said, Mom. I said, I just broke 5,300 followers. I said, we don't got to live like this no more. Your son made it.
Yeah,
I'm going to get someone to take the trash out for us. We're good.
We made it. You know, that's another crazy thing, too, with social media is the followers and the purchasing of followers and all that stuff. It's cool, I get it, but it's just like, shit, dude, you're not anybody. You don't do anything. You don't have 300,000 followers. You don't. And then that's just a fakeness, and that's just stepping away from bodybuilding. I had double elbow surgery, so I couldn't train for about basically my body just said, fuck you. I've been training since I'm 12. I'm 42. After 30 years, my tendons went, you know what, you're done for a little while. So I had to step away from it. I'm not going to go over the rib thing from Puerto Rico. Maybe another time we'll get into that. So both my girlfriend and I stepped away from this.
So wish she was going to.
Oh yeah, maybe I will. Okay, I'll tell you a quick.
Maybe not details. Just what
sure.
Just what happened. Yeah. What you
nah,
witnessed.
Fuck it. You guys told me to say what I wanted. We're gonna do it. So this, I'm not going to mention the show. Okay, this is a pro show. My girlfriend is a pro. This was her last show. So I'm out by the pool, right? And I noticed this girl from the year before. You know, I'm like, I mean, first of all, every pro show, they pretty much all look awesome. You know, to get their levels awesome.
Facts.
So I see this girl, you know, she looked amazing, but this year she looked super amazing. And I said, you know, what does your supplement profile look like? She said this, that. I said, oh, that seems normal, you know. And then she said to me, I got my 2 bottom ribs removed. I said, holy shit. I looked to my girlfriend. I said, we're out. We're done. This is your last show.
This is it.
We're out.
That was the exit.
And that was it. That was the last show.
That was it.
Great girl. I'm not going to mention any names, any shows, but yeah, that pulled us out of the game for good. Yeah. So hey, whatever it takes. You know what I mean?
Marilyn Manson surgery.
Yeah. Whatever.
Could win pro shows and fellate yourself.
But now to get 2 ribs removed, I know I asked you this before. Did she win?
No, she got 16th along with a bunch of other girls. Yeah, you know, get the 16 and 16 and 16 and 16. Yeah, so anyway, God knows where she's at this point. But that was it. That's when we pulled out, and that's when I was able to take a step back and go, you know, this whole body thing was cool. I still support it. I still love it. I still love prepping people, but I talk a lot more people out of competing than I tell to compete these days because not everybody can handle losing. It's one of my first conversations I had with people. I said, are you okay with losing? And people look at me like I'm all fucked up. I said, no, are you okay with losing? Because I don't want to be the guy that has to walk you off the ledge because you didn't beat anybody or you didn't win the overall. I don't want to work with that type of person. So I still train. I still have a lot of passion and love for it. But let's just say I've unfollowed a lot of people over the past 2 years.
I don't think I'm one of them, so I made the cut.
I don't think I was ever one of them, so.
I can follow you. That's cool. That's cool.
I got to check it.
You got a new follower now.
Yeah, but you know.
Yeah.
One of the crazy things is somebody who say just started competing, right? Forget about competing, just started bodybuilding. Mm-hmm. And they go, my first show, you know, I'm going to go in there. I have to win it. It's going to be mine.
Got to do it.
You got to respect the mentality when you're in prep because when you're suffering through prep and really not cheating, going balls out, that mentality does help.
Yeah, I get it.
But you got to take it back to earth for a second. You know, if you're a men's physique guy, you know what? You can go pro in 2 years. To be a legit bodybuilder,
You just
to have
crushed dreams right there.
but to be a legit bodybuilder, you have to have mature, dense muscle that's been caked on for fucking years.
It doesn't really matter what you're taking. It doesn't just happen overnight.
No, not at all.
No.
Let's
You
just
mean
slap
so
it.
growth hormone doesn't fix everything? Oh, I'm so pissed.
Shit.
Shit. What a waste of $100,000
A month.
a month. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
Did I ever? I'm gonna get into. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say names.
sub Q.
Hold on. I'm not gonna say names. Okay, because
we
I
don't
don't know.
need to.
I don't know how widespread this podcast is yet, but based
I
on
hope they hear it.
but based on the listeners, it's pretty deep. So I'm at a top person's house.
Yeah.
No one in the area, and
Nice big house, I'm sure, right?
large house, very large house. So I'm at their house, and they're talking about whatever everybody is doing and stuff like that. Anytime anybody talks about that type of stuff in front of me,
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what it means. I'm like, is that a lot? I don't know what that means. So like when they're all done talking, I just like slyly slid in there. I said, I took a raspberry ketone once. Yo, no one found that shit funny. They all just looked at me like I was the biggest asshole in the room, and then they all just kind of carried on with their conversation.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what's funny is I'm very well educated with that stuff. Ever since I started playing college, I took my first cycle before my first year of college because I wanted to compete. That's what got me to college. I went to college because I wanted to play football, and to do that, I was willing to do whatever it takes.
What position do you play?
Outside linebacker, Black Hills State University.
That's this motherfucker hitting you.
And yeah, you know, I did 7 shots and I gained 35 pounds. That never happened again. But that being said, I'm somebody that's very well versed and knowledgeable and has been reading up for decades, man. So that's one of the things too, walking away and what some people, especially some of the girls, are willing to do to their body in order to get to this certain status, whether it's pro status, whatever it is. It's freaking scary, man. And I've seen enough side effects on women. I've seen what it does, and a lot of them are irreversible. So unfortunately, girls that are in their young 20s aren't going to find out until their mid 30s, 40s, and it's some real ugly shit. So not going to get into that topic too much, but it's been a nice little relief. It's been
Yeah, you
nice
brushed it. That's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to give the body a break. You know, it's part of the sport. Anyone who wants to deny it. I mean, I get people come in. You know, my girlfriend turned pro, so all of her, you know, MILF moms were like, "Oh, I'm going to compete too. I'm going to compete. Everyone has to compete." So they come in. You know, boom. Hey, how do you look? Like, oh, you look good for the beach. You know.
Yeah, you look ready
Okay,
to
I said,
go to Tobay.
I said, do you understand these are non-tested events? And they look at me just horrified, like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, people are taking drugs for this. Oh my God, they are. And people think it's so bad. I've lost some clients to that, but I'd rather be upfront with you and be like, hey, this is the deal, man. Not for you to come off the stage, get smacked, and be like, oh, Britt, why didn't you tell me she was shooting Tran or whatever the hell's going on? No, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very upfront with that stuff. I think you have to be. I think that's what makes the industry very fake, is guys not talking about it. And I've wanted to for years on Facebook, but I've trained so many kids that, you know, it's one of the, I have lied to children about that before because it's just something that I don't want them to get into.
Yeah, you don't want to
of
set
course.
a
This is a
varying
topic-
example.
They're not going to understand all the science behind it. They just know that this is this.
This is a topic that I really wanted to post on Facebook. Some of the benefits to it too. I mean, women don't realize, you know, you go on a little anti-estrogen, lower your estrogen a little bit, you can completely change your body in a good way. So there are cool ways of doing some pretty effective stuff. But because of this stigma behind it, I really haven't addressed it. And I don't know now that I need to, because all these top coaches who aren't educated at all, they just either got to Olympia stage or became pros.
You used the wrong terminology. It's a guru. Make sure you get that
gurus.
correct.
Yeah, well, gurus. So again, it's tough to be somebody that's educated and then to see guys that are, you know, charging half the price that you are. But, you know, like I said, the chicken and rice diet is only going to work for so long. That doesn't work for everybody, you know. Anyway, can I talk to you about some other stuff?
You could talk to me about
Absolutely.
whatever you want. I'm super interested in anything you have to say.
Okay, well, not everybody knows this about me, but I've been traveling the world my whole life.
Favorite country before you start?
I'm gonna have to go to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Puerto Vida. So,
Yeah, I know John was saying he's been there.
yeah. This tattoo on my knuckles is their slogan.
Pura Vida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Didn't even notice. Should
Yeah.
have looked at his fucking
I,
knuckles.
It really depends.
I was reading them before.
Yeah.
I'm like, they better.
yeah,
I'm
you
sure
really
it
didn't
is.
have to ask about the Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. It's you know why I love it? Puerto Vida, you know, simply translated means simple life if you just look at it in Spanish. But there it's got completely different value. Like in Costa Rica, I've been there 4 times this last year. The last one was a beach cleanup, believe it or not. But prior to that, it had all been vacation. And these are people that have nothing. These are people that make maybe $5 a day. They close their shop up. They go down to the beach. They look at the sunset, and they're like, thank God. They're sitting there saying, thank you. Like, thank God we're here. Thank God we're healthy. Thank God I got a fucking papaya I can eat. And then I come back to JFK and this fucking craziness where people have everything, and then they're fucking completely miserable. And I'm like, God, like, it's just, we have it so wrong. And I don't want to dig too deep into it, but traveling has allowed me to become a better person. It's something I do. I don't have a big savings. I don't have a big 401k. I've spent all my money that I've made really traveling and taking care of people. So, and I'm proud of that.
It's opened your eyes to a lot of different...
It's made me smarter. The best education you can get. Like I said, I have friends around the world who have nothing that appreciate things so... They appreciate everything.
So minuscule.
Sunset. Yeah, and then I got people here who have, the big cars, the pools, and they're fucking miserable. They pull up to their house and just... big sigh in their Porsche as they're sitting there not wanting to go into the wife that they're stuck with or the dirty ass little kids they created 10 years ago. And they're going, what did I do? You know what I mean? So it's true. I started a blog called Don't Be the Hamster in the Wheel. And what's funny is that's kind of my mantra. It's like at 42 years old, I'm much different than other people. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I'm okay with that. I'm free. I'm not stuck. I don't have a mortgage. I rent. I pay rent. I'm not stuck to anything. At 42 years old, I do not owe one person $1. Not a credit card company, nothing. I don't know anybody that's not $1. And I'm truly proud of that. I'm obviously not a fashion icon, but I live minimally. So what happens? I got
this shirt for free.
I'm rocking the Johnny Cash
flip flops and an old T-shirt.
I was gonna wear the flip flops.
I'm comfortable.
So no, comfortable, bro. My feet have flip-flop tan lines. When I'm not kidding. White
you
tan
beat
line.
me. You beat
if
me.
my feet weren't so ugly, I would post it. But it's
Britton, aka vacation.
I am
mode.
gonna get a one of those fish pedicures on my next trip. Have you seen those?
I heard that those are not good for you.
Well, you know what, Nick? We discussed a couple things already, and I'm guilty of doing a few things that are not good for me. Okay, that's just the way it goes. What happens is people are like, Britt, man, how do you travel so much? Like, where do you get your money? I'm like, dude, take the fucking $1,500 Range Rover payment you have, okay? Get rid of it. Get a Honda. You can take your wife to Rome every 2 months. It's not insanity. It's just what you choose to do. I don't have to impress anybody except myself. I want to impress myself and my family in a good way.
I've been to Hawaii twice. I fully funded by myself, and it was a
great.
great trip. Wasn't that expensive?
And I'll tell you what brings me to my, if you guys don't mind, jump into my current journey.
Please.
Yeah, definitely.
What's happened is the last 7 months. So I travel all the freaking time. I travel. It's crazy. So it's fun. I enjoy it. Thankfully, I have clients who also appreciate it. So I went to Europe for my first time. All right. And
Which country?
Well, it's funny you mention that. For my girl, I surprised her. We did 2 nights Barcelona.
Nice.
2 nights Madrid. 2 nights Rome, which were all freaking amazing. And then we were supposed to go to Greece for 3 nights. On her birthday night, we decided, what's cool about Europe, just like any other place, once you get there, flights are really freaking cheap. So you can go basically anywhere in Europe for like $100 once you get there.
Nice.
I now travel via one-way flights everywhere I go now. It's actually cheaper. That's a whole
States too?
I don't really do the States.
Oh.
No. I try. Let's put it like this. I try not to.
Did you hear the scoff?
I went to Las Vegas. I consider that international grounds, though.
Yeah, basically.
That's something between me and my girlfriend. We won't get into that. But Las Vegas doesn't count. But yeah, States a good round trip. Anyway, so it was her birthday night. We were supposed to fly out to Greece the next morning. And one of my boys is over there, one of the gay friends over there who loves to party, knows everything. He's like, hey, buddy. He's like, do not go there at this time of the year. This is February. He says, there's nothing to do in Athens. He says, you want to go to the islands? He goes, just choose somewhere else. So I was like, it was so much fun. It was her birthday. We're just spinning the globe. Like, where do you want to go tomorrow, babe?
That's
cool.
sick.
Yeah.
And then I thought about Amsterdam, and I was like, this has been on my bucket list since I'm 11 years old. I need to go to Amsterdam and do bad things. So what I had envisioned for my entire life, this Amsterdam, this craziness, this Mardi Gras of Europe. And I got off the plane. I was like, holy shit. We'll start with the airport. I would have eaten food off the floor of this airport.
I had a connection through there.
No cars. Everybody rides a bicycle. Dude, it was the cleanest, classiest place I'd ever seen. I was like, holy shit.
You thought it was going to be grunge central.
I thought it was, I wanted it to be kind of nasty. You know, I was kind of like, wait, where are all the hookers and the craziness and the weed?
He brought penicillin shots
I'm
with
like,
him.
wait, they're all inside. What the hell? Anyway, so classy, bro. This trip just got better and better. So I got back. I'm not going to mention the magazine at the time, but I got a job offer for a magazine. They sent me a laptop. We said, we want you to start writing. I said, you know what I'm going to do? You know what my first piece is going to do? I said, I'm going to go back to Europe, and I'm going to find a way. I'm going to use their strategies. I want to figure out what they're doing there and how we can emulate that. Like, wow. Like, I was going over there. People were like, yeah, we don't work more than 30 hours a week. They're like, we nap like 4 hours. I'm like, Jesus, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's it. I'm going to go back in 6 weeks, and I'm going to write this story. All right. I was pumped. My first piece, I got a real job, and here we go. So I rented, before I was the drone pro that I am now, I hired a dronographer. I set all these pieces into place. I went from Amsterdam. I went out to Hanslag. Oh, I forget how to say it. It's where all the beautiful windmills are. I mean, it's like 40
The flowers and the flower fields.
Yes. I got some footage from there too. I've actually had that on my Instagram. Pretty awesome footage, which was illegal to do.
Which I saw I commented on the kid doing the
drone,
and I said
he's never wrecked one drone. How's that possible?
I said he's dope.
He's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Ricardo Drone King, I think. He said, what's wrong with you? I was like, you must not be flying hard enough. So anyway, that's another thing. He thinks I'm crazy, believe it or not. So what happens, we get to this windmill about 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, this is freaking majestical. I mean, like, I'm in heaven. This is all that I came here for. And then I get back to the car. And again, there's nobody in sight. This is nature at its finest. And I'm like, wait, what the hell is that? And I look, there's bodies of water everywhere. And I pull out the giant, like, tarp out of the water, this huge thing of plastic. What the fuck is this? And I started looking around everywhere, and I'm like, oh no, like, it was my moment where I was like, wait a second, this place is a shithole. Like, there's pollution everywhere. And like, I seriously cried on this trip. I went by myself. I was so excited. And after 4 days, again, what happens I guess it happens in a lot of tourist destinations, but in February, there wasn't a lot of tourists. It was a lot cleaner, wasn't as crazy. 6 weeks later, it was a whole different ballgame. I'm watching people throw pizza boxes into the canals. And
really?
Wow. Cigarette butts everywhere. I went to Red Light District, which is a cool place to go, by the way. No, the coffee is amazing.
That's it.
So I had this coffee cup and people watch. Truly, it's an awesome place to people watch. And I got this cup of coffee, and I go up to this cop. I'm like, I'm hoping I can find like a recycling thing, kind of take a picture of it, write something positive about this place, because my whole trip has been blown to pieces. Mm-hmm. I look at the cop, and I'm like, hey, is there a recycling thing around? He's like, no, there's garbage containers everywhere. I'm like, all right. I had to walk like 5.5 blocks to find a garbage, and I chucked it out. But he's looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Why wouldn't you just put it on the ground? And I'm like, so my whole mind state just switched, and I'm like, I had my last day there was a company called the Plastic Whale. And how cool is this? There's canals everywhere in Amsterdam. It's really cool. And every road in Amsterdam is basically on a canal, which I didn't know. It's freaking beautiful. So I got with this company called the Plastic Whale, and I rented a private tour. And what they do fishing, but they do plastic fishing. So just like every other tour, but you go on the boat, you take a little net, and you fish the plastic out of the water. Then they take this plastic and make shit out of it and sell it. I'm like, this is phenomenal. This is what I want to do with my life. Yeah, awesome.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's crazy.
About halfway through the tour, I stopped. I just wanted to cry. It was me and the captain. I'm talking a lot about crying, but this is emotional shit.
Yeah.
I'm somebody, my mother, I grew up watching National Geographic. My father was not a political or stern guy. He was just like, man, just love people. And I just grew up with a lot of love for nature and just what I thought was common in people. And I'm finding out as I get later in life is not as common. And people aren't as nice and loving as sometimes you give them credit. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But halfway through the Plastic Whale thing, I have to talk with the captain. I was like, what am I doing? I'm like, I'm not making a dent. I mean, there was so much gross garbage everywhere.
Dense.
Oh, I mean, everywhere, to where I was like, what am I doing? I'm just getting myself filthy for nothing. And then, honestly, that was my moment. It was that weekend. I came back. I cried. I'm not kidding. I'm saying that for a third time. It hurt. I was hurt. I was wounded. I was like, I was so inspired going there, and I came back crushed. And I started doing some local beach cleanups, and then I was like, you know, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know why, because it's such a dark thing. But we are so screwed and are in such a plastic crisis situation. And I don't think many people realize how bad it is. So basically, I've been traveling the world the last 6 to 7 months. A little bit of volunteer money or Facebook money, but pretty much on my own dime. And I've been hosting these international beach cleanups, right? On my own dime, because I want to raise awareness. And at first, it was fun. You know, get everybody together like Robert Moses, and I go make little planters out of, little things to do. And then as I kept going, and then I went to Costa Rica, actually, which I've been there 4 times this year. I've been there. Then now I'm stuttering. Now I'm going with a different agenda. Now I'm seeing stuff that I haven't seen before. I'm seeing plastic and garbage everywhere. So I go back to Costa Rica. I'm like, it can't be that bad. Do a little research. And I did a cleanup where the Tarcolis River meets pretty much 5 miles where I'd been staying in Jaco the whole time. And what happens is one of the most polluted rivers in the world. What happens is there's no infrastructure. So most of this pollution is coming from the rivers. Even here, most of this pollution is coming from the rivers. And what happens is countries like this don't have an infrastructure, so it just gets into the river and then dumps out. And also something I showcase on Instagram, just miles and miles and miles of garbage. I mean, straight garbage, every square inch littered. And I'm like, oh my God, like I was here 4 times already. What happened? And then
Where is it all coming from? Is it coming from the ocean coming in, or is it just people really throwing their shit in there?
No, it's not that at all. That's what people think. I'll do a cleanup on the Sound. People are like, oh, it's those fucking people from Connecticut. I'm like, no, you fucking morons. But you can't blame the people because there's just a lack of
awareness,
education.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Well, some people do know. Some people just truly don't give a shit. 80% of what ends up in the water comes from the land, believe it or not. So most of this stuff is coming from the river.
Dumping?
Yeah, just flowing naturally because the rivers flow into the oceans.
But how is it getting there? Is it getting there from companies dumping illegally, or is it just
a culmination? I think depends which country you're in. Here we hide it very well. So for here, maybe it's a little bit different, but still coming from the rivers. It's plastic. The first piece of plastic is still here. A piece of plastic, the minimum it takes to break down is 400 years. Like I said, the first piece is still here. And this is just a mathematical thing now. Overpopulation, no infrastructure, it keeps going, and we use it like animals. Everything we do is plastic. What's happened now, unfortunately, I've got an eye for it. Now I'm realizing we're screwed. I hate to say that because I want to keep this light, and I'm really trying as hard as I can.
No,
to
keep it real.
positive, but it's a very dark topic because this is not something that's 100 years away. This is like 10, 15 years when you're sitting in your little beach chair in Aruba. This is a funny one. All my clients have gone to Aruba for years. I don't know why. It looks boring as hell to me. But as I'm doing this, I was trying to get donations. I'm like, how do I put this in people's backyard? Because when I go to like these other countries, people are like, oh, it's crazy, bizarre.
Yeah, it's so far away.
Yeah, and I'll bring it back to whose garbage that really is, which is crazy. So I said, I'm gonna go to the freaking Aruba, which I never wanted to go to, and I don't have to know. I know that I'm 5 minutes within serious pollution. I've done this long enough in a short amount of time to know that just go to any body of water and open your eyes, and once you get an eye for it, you start seeing it. So here's what I did. I went to Aruba. Aruba is 20 by 5 miles. Or 20 miles by 6 miles. That's the entire country. Wow. So what I did, I got a small local crew, really cool. I actually did a little stuff ahead of time. I had a crew of about 15 people. Cleaned the beaches, tons of shit, toilet bowls, all this stuff. My clients were like, oh my God, I thought it was beautiful. Like, yeah, that from the hotel to the water where they clean every morning is beautiful. Just like the beaches here. Smith Point, they've got this giant machine that goes and cleans the machines at 6 a.m. So when you get to the beach, you're like, yeah, this place is really clean. No, go to the other side to the bay. So everything's just kind of rigged. So I went to Aruba, I picked up all the garbage. I'm like, Jesus, now I want this to be dark. I want to start finding some solutions, man. You know what I mean? Like, this can't all be negative. I'm never going to get any money from this. Not that I'm doing this for money, but the donations help me get a lot done. Those have pretty much ceased, unfortunately. People donate once or twice, and that's it. People don't like to give money, and I understand that. However, feel free to at any point. So I go to the recycling center. So what do you guys do with this stuff? He's like, man, we just wrap it in plastic and bury it. Well, what the fuck? What? So
they wrap the plastic in
plastic.
They
wrap the garbage, all the garbage in plastic, and they bury it. This is a 20 by 6 mile island. How long do you think that's going to work?
Not long.
Even the guy was telling me, we're not talking 100 years. We're talking like 5. We're talking like 10. And unfortunately, the current state now is people are like, oh, no, it's so far away. You're such a doomsday guy. They used to talk about this in the 70s. No, when you're sitting in your little lawn chair or your little chair and your towel in Aruba and you see these masses of shit and plastic floating across, that's where you're going to go, oh, I remember that Britton guy hooting and hollering, blah, blah. And that's when it's going to be too late. And that's the saddest part about this is I continue to strive and do this, but it's dark, man. It's sad. And I think I'm about 30 years too late. You know what I mean? So on a positive note, I'm going to keep going. But what I've slowly done is kind of expose people to this. So I'm no longer making little pottery things, little things like this to raise the awareness. I feel like
I saw you with the creamer
yeah,
bottles.
Yeah, simple thing. I said, guys, there's stuff we can do. You know, there's stuff we can do. You go simple stuff. Okay, you go into a little fast food place. Okay, you get a cup, you get a little Happy Meal, whatever the hell you get. Your chicken and rice. Okay, you get a drink. You know that you're staying there. Okay, why do you need the lid and the straw? If you drop the fucking cup, it's going to be all over anywhere, right? So it's just out of habit. So you're thinking, how many billions of times a day do people go into these, but not thinking, yeah, I get the plastic straw and the plastic lid. You sit there for 4 minutes, sometimes 2 minutes, and then and then you throw it away.
Yeah.
And just people don't know. And I sit there, like I said, once you start getting an eye for it, this guy Richard I met when I first started doing, he goes, Britton, he goes, very important thing. He goes, do not lose your empathy for people here. And I'm starting to. I get it now, because it's like people know, but they still won't change their ways. You know, I walk into Target or Costco, I'll see like clients like running the other way. I'm like, it's okay. Like, I use plastic also. It's just, they're all alternatives. Why does everybody have to have a plastic bottle? Remember the old Gatorade jugs where we use a paper cup? Like, there's so many simple things we can do. And I think because so many people don't do anything, everybody's attitude is like, no, it's not my problem. This guy's not doing it. Why should I do it? Or McDonald's doesn't do it. Why should Taco Bell do it? And, you know, unfortunately, it comes down to money, man. And I don't mean to chew your guys' ear off, but that's really the root of this is our dependency on oil, you know? And there's parties that have put this in place, unfortunately, with politics and everything. I really don't like to get into politics, but, you know, because we opened it up, it's all been about money and oil and money. We've now fucked the environment, you know? So what do we do? What do we do? You know what I mean? And even still, to this day, I tell people this. There was an article in the New York Times. You don't see this on Facebook or social media. Nothing. You don't see this. This is crazy. And think about all the garbage, all the dirt I've put my hands on all over the world to try and help and raise awareness. So, New York Times, an actual article. It's not a fabricated thing. I'm reading this. There's this one oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico. Okay. Since the BP oil spill 14 years ago, it's been leaking. The captain has been reporting that it's been leaking 2.5 gallons of oil a day for the last 14 years into the Gulf of Mexico. All right, this is only one oil rig, okay? They went in, investigated. This rig has been leaking 4,800 gallons of oil a fucking day for 14 years.
4,000?
800 gallons.
So almost 5,000.
Yeah.
For 14 years. One oil rig, dude. I mean, it makes you want to cry. Yeah, all the cleanup. We can clean up. Listen, and again, the math, I want to keep it positive, but the math, the numbers, if you take the top 12 dirtiest countries in the world, when I say dirty, I don't mean the actual dirty. I mean the
cleanliness of it.
No, the ones who contribute to the most of the trash going into the water.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily the dirtiest countries, just the ones who are bad with the waste management.
The ones causing the biggest problem.
Right. So 1 through 12, okay? We're at number 12. 0.3 metric tons per year, okay? China is at number 1. Yeah. If we cleaned up all from 2 to 12, China single-handedly would be beating all of us at 8.8 tons a year. That one country is destroying the world. I'm not saying we all don't have a part, but we can clean up those 11 countries, and that one country would still, how do you fix that? And I think they actually tried a few years ago. They put a ban on having kids. They're like, Jesus, we can't handle anymore. And now this is very deep. But a lot of these countries, you know, I have images that I post from Africa, all these different countries, and it's funny, Long Island people, and it's like, oh, they're such slobs. I'm like, no, you assholes, this is our garbage. These people don't have money. They're not buying single-use plastics. They're using baskets and natural things. Like, that's what people don't realize. We've been shipping our garbage off to other countries, and these people are just living in it.
So I'm going to stop you there real quick.
Please do.
How do we get away with shipping garbage out to different countries?
Well, China banned us, so that helps.
So we were sending our garbage to China?
Several different places. We were sending to a bunch of different places. India is a bad one. India is just...
Yeah, India we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. We were outsourcing our garbage, you know, and now countries are like, listen, we can't handle it anymore. We have our own problem. So what's happening is we're running out of room. It's plastic. There's nowhere else to put it. So
wasn't there I don't know if you saw the same video as me. I saw something with I think it was Indonesia. There's some type of a plant, or it's in the Maldives. Is it?
No, it's in
you know what I'm talking about, right?
No, you didn't say Indonesia. Singapore. It's in Singapore.
Singapore, yes.
It's incredible.
Where they turn it into CO2.
Well,
no, not
actually,
CO2. They turn it into.
They've developed a technology which is not active yet, by the way.
It's not okay.
It's supposed to open in 2020.
I saw a viral video and it got me excited.
You excited? I had a trip booked there to find out it wasn't open yet. So allegedly they have this technology, billions of dollars. You guys know this is going to come down to money, and even more important, it's going to be time because we got to get going like a decade ago. They take all they burn 90% of their garbage, and they somehow, through this simple, crazy process, they clean it to where when they emit it back in the air, it's cleaner than the air that we were currently
Yes, that's
breathing.
what I was saying.
And they
That's
also
crazy.
use it for energy. That is crazy. So why aren't we all doing this? Why isn't this mandated? Why are we allowed to buy fucking plastic bottles? Why isn't there state laws that say no, you got to buy mugs, you got to use it's the problem.
now-
here. The
So
legislation.
question, yes,
Yeah.
it's definitely legislation because it comes down to the same thing, or the same issue where you have the food industry and the health industry. They all cover for each other. They're doing fucked
Yeah,
up things
that's
behind
it.
closed doors.
Yeah.
And I tell all my buddies. My buddies sometimes come to me for advice. They come to me because they know I'll be a good listening ear. I'm having this type of problem. I'm having this type of problem. And my biggest thing that I always say is, you can go to somebody, they'll put you on a drug, but that's not going to fix the problem. It's going to put a Band-Aid on it for the time being.
Exactly.
The medical industry especially is not in it to heal people. It's in it to just treat the problem that you have, because otherwise they don't make fucking money anymore.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing that can be said about the plastics.
Unfortunately, it always comes down to the money, and there are alternatives, man.
Is glass that much better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but now we're at a point we're not even recycling that. Here's another topic: is there are options. We got hemp. There's seaweed pods that you could make that are just as effective as plastic, but they're expensive. And we're at a point, and the world's at a point where it's all about the fucking money. It's all about the bottom line.
Then your artisan water goes from $4 to $8.
Right, and I
you
know
look
that
at-
I'm not going to change that, and that's the darkest part of this battle is that I've been emailing Elon Musk. I'm not kidding you.
Tweet him.
I might tweet him.
Tweet him.
To see if we can start launching this shit into outer space. I'm actually not kidding. This is just where I'm at with it, because I'm like, I'm not going to get into the politics and the big money. You're never going to beat the big oil companies, but dude, I want to do something. I can't give up. So again, part of it's kind of looking for solutions. It's very dark. It's very sad. I cry sometimes. I laugh sometimes. I have a very small percentage of people that truly believe in it, and I have some people that just don't get it and just don't care. And I also,
John said something too.
yeah, please do. Sorry.
No, you're good.
No,
man.
no, you're good. You're good. We want to
that was,
listen. The more, this, like we said earlier, the biggest thing with us is we want to get as much information out there on various topics, not just bodybuilding, not just how many fucking meals do you eat a day, but we want to get real information out too. And one of them was a taco bowl. We want to get real information out
And
there.
I used a plastic fork.
Yeah. What'd you do with the plastic
There you
fork?
I threw it in the garbage like a piece of shit.
Ah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep, I'm part of the problem.
We all are, man. But what people don't get is, hey, we're talking about the big things of plastic out in the ocean, right? The Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's fucking, what is it, the size of Texas or bigger?
It shows up from space.
Yeah.
It's called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Yeah, so it's just basically one big floating, I did a project back in high school.
I heard about that. That's
one
right.
big floating mass of plastic and shit.
Yeah, no,
just floating around because of all the plastic that was thrown into the water, all the currents just brought it into one mass, essentially.
Well, you're exactly right with the currents. That's what people
Yeah.
don't realize. That like,
It wasn't one mass that was thrown in by one person.
yeah, no, but
Exactly.
the whole thing's going to do it eventually. The
Yeah.
whole thing's going to do it. It's all going to catch. But it's funny you
Exactly.
say that because I was in the Philippines over Christmas, and I was saying something about how dirty it was, and people were like, oh, this is dirty. Things like, no, these are American products. And what happens is people don't realize the waterways create a certain things. So the wavelength, the currents, our garbage stuff that's already in the water ends up in these islands in certain places. My last cleanup was DR. I've been in Dominican Republic before. Okay, I wanted to go there because getting a lot of bad pub with the tourism and the poisoning, the minibar, whatever crap. So I wanted to go there. I wanted to do something positive. So
Yeah, there you go. So
went-
Nick just brought it up.
yeah, it's gross.
It's insane.
I went to their local beach. You got to see. It's one of my last Instagrams. The last cleanup that I did. No, last international cleanup did about 5 weeks ago. Bro, I got to this beach and I was like, what the fuck? I'm not talking filth everywhere. I'm like, this isn't even considered a dirty country.
Yeah, I saw that post
And these
actually.
people are just swimming in it, looking at me like I was some kind of alien. So what I've done here is kind of ramp this up to where now I'm going to show you the filth. So now I'm going to go. Next week I'm actually headed to Bangkok, Thailand, which is the third on that list that I was telling you. There's China, somewhere else, and then Thailand's actually third. So what I'm going to do now is, enough with the roses and the sunshine. I don't know how else to do this, but now I really have to show you, like,
Shock
this is the
shock
shit.
value.
Yeah, and I don't want to have to do that because it's hard. It's just hard on me. I'm spending a lot of money to fucking clean up garbage. I'm not going to clean up. I'm going to video, and I'm going to show you, because the cleanups, I'm not saying they're over. I'll always do my part with that on a local level, but there's only so much I can clean up. Think about the amount of waste one hospital goes through a day with plastic. It's insane when you start thinking about the numbers. But now I'm going to go into the darkness and expose it. But also, I want to start finding some solutions, and I've already hooked up with a couple people in Bangkok that actually do stuff with this plastic. Ultimately, we just have to do stuff with it. Do I have to buy a plastic burning machine? I don't know, but we're not going to stop producing it. We got to try our best, but we got to start making houses out of it and shit. There's a lot of stuff we can do. But it's happening at such an alarming rate that I don't even know if we'll have time to really do that. But like you said, with the technology in the Singapore, there's this one thing. I don't know if you saw the guy with the lake, the guy who's PhD, again, millions of dollars. This guy developed this some molecule, some chemical that he made through years and years and years. Really cool picture. I'll show it to you when I can find it. It's got this river, huge miles and miles of this river in his hometown, somewhere in the United States actually. And he developed this chemical that everything gets attracted to it, so all of the garbage floats to the top.
Oh, really?
Dude, it's freaking amazing. Amazing. So why are we not working on that right now? What's going on? We're sitting here talking about a wall.
Big business.
It's all money, and it's cool. Right now, actually, tonight, again, I'm not really that into politics, but there's only one presidential candidate. He's a Democrat right now. He's the governor of Washington. His name is Jay Inslee. Okay, he has absolutely nothing else on his agenda except the environment. His whole, of course, he's not going to win because it's not about money. His whole agenda, you'll see him when he talks. If you see him talk tonight, is world crisis. Like, we have to right now save the world. Like, we are the end of the.
This isn't just the U.S.'s problem. It's
this
everyone.
is a global thing, and that's great that you mentioned that, because people be like, oh, why don't you do more local cleanups? Because these fucking beaches are clean. I'm like, if you thought those were dirty, wait till I show you. Wait till I show you what dirty is.
Yeah.
I can't clean half the stuff that I see. I need heavy machinery.
Yeah.
And you clean it, then where do you put it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if I'm
problem,
thinking,
it's passing the problem
and
to
you get
somebody else.
duped. I live in Smithtown, right? Do you know what the logo on this? You can't even make this shit up. I apologize for all the cursing. I did message you.
fine.
I did message you and say that I curse a lot. I blamed it on my mother's driving.
And I said, fucking curse.
All right, let's
That's
go.
it.
Fine with it.
So, where was I going with that one?
You said the logo.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Smithtown.
if you go to Smithtown, yes, Smithtown, I'm calling you out, the recycling logo.
And I recently just said to my mom that I like Smithtown. I could see myself
I love
moving there.
Smithtown.
Here we go.
I love Smithtown. I live in the Pines. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods ever. I love it. I love it. I live in the middle of the woods in this little one-bedroom cottage surrounded by deer and freaking hawks. I love it. Truly. And I rent. And I take a lot of pride in that. The logo is this image of a person taking a piece of garbage and throw it in a garbage can. It says, when in doubt, throw out. What the fuck? Basically just saying don't recycle because we're just going to throw it out anyway. I mean, that's where we're at. And a lot of these things, what's funny for me and why I'm so passionate about this is I, for the last 20 years, wasn't looking at it too. I've been a piece of shit. I haven't really been thinking this, but it just hit me for some reason. It hit me and I'm like, whoa. And that's why I started looking at my own footprint. I'm pushing a cart through Target the other day. I was like, Jesus, I don't have anything that's not made out of plastic. Like, it is super hard, but there are little things we could do, man, like reusable waters, no more gallon jugs for all the bodybuilders and stuff. Start doing no, seriously, little stuff.
Well, you know what I actually did?
You probably use it till it's yellow. But think about this. I'm holding a gallon up right now. So if you just think about bodybuilders, just our part as bodybuilders in the world, or ex-bodybuilders.
Luckily, there aren't a lot of them.
Yes, there are, though. There are. If all of us didn't drink 2 gallons of water a day, think about all the millions. There are millions.
Oh, yeah.
And every day we could prevent 2 of these. Dude.
It's insane.
It's insane, but it just takes action, and that's...
You know what I did? I bought a Yeti. I bought a half-gallon Yeti.
I stopped drinking water.
Really?
Just Diet Coke.
Oh, shit. That's why your skin looks
There's
so
probably
good.
plastic in that, too.
There's plastic in the
That's
Coke.
made of plastic.
So, yeah, anyway, I'm bringing it to Bangkok, bringing it to Thailand. I just want to go over a couple things because I will shut up pretty quick here.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm going to drive you guys nuts. But
You're not driving us nuts, I promise.
I want to give you like a couple actual facts. People could argue this, whatever. There's so much on the internet, it's tough. But I'll give you just a couple things when you just start looking at the sheer volume of this stuff.
I want to comment. His microphone technique is perfect.
You like it?
Yeah,
It's
he's nailing it.
flawless.
He's nailing it.
I got practice.
I usually have to yell at
I told
people.
you I did the whole stage.
I usually have to yell at people
thing.
and be like, "Yo, get up on that
Get up,
mic.
yeah.
He's good."
Okay, so
The only one.
all right, this is global. 1 million plastic bottles are bought every minute.
1 million plastic bottles are purchased every minute.
Every minute.
That's insane.
That's 20,000 every second.
See, what's
91% is not recycled. Okay?
what's crazy about that is, you know,
Everything.
Everything.
Besides that too, but like the whole reason the big companies aren't switching over to say the kelp products or something that's cheaper than plastic is because imagine the markup they're going to have to spend for a million things in a minute. A million bottles a minute. It'd be trillions of dollars an hour.
Dude, 1 million a minute?
It's crazy.
It's insane. If you look at the math and how much space that takes up, that's what I'm saying. At this point, this is not about science. It's not about Britton's opinion. This is mathematics.
That's warehouse level space, like football fields.
Fields.
Yes.
I mean,
No, we're talking states, like states of a minute. Okay, 91% is not recycled. Okay, 1 trillion single-use plastic bags are used each year. That's nearly 2 million every minute. Okay, the average use of a plastic bag is 12 minutes. What the fuck, man?
That's wild.
What
That's
the
crazy.
fuck?
Well, I was at the grocery store. I actually thought of you because I was at the grocery store the other night. I'm not joking. And it was like 11:30 at night. I came. What happens is my mom and I fight over who drinks whose waters in the house.
Okay.
Like she likes the
It's a healthy
Essentia.
fight.
Yeah, she likes the Essentia waters, the bougie ass shit. I'm glad she doesn't like Voss. So thank God she doesn't like that shit. But the glass bottle would actually help. So I'm online. I ran out to the store. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and this guy is in front of me. Him and his buddy. And his buddy is like one of those hoarders. You could just tell. While he's talking to the woman about why his coupon isn't working, the dude is just grabbing bags. He must have grabbed like 10 to 15 bags. I'm like, what are you going to do with that shit?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it?
The only thing that I can see, this is a tough problem, and this is for personal reasons, is dog poop.
Yeah.
I got to keep it real with you.
Yeah.
I have a tough time picking up dog poop with napkins, and I've done it before. However, I'm willing to sacrifice if you guys are. Okay, up to 80% of ocean plastic pollution enters the ocean from the land. So, no, this is not. There's a lot of stuff for fishing boats at the bottom of the sea, but this stuff is coming from the land and just ending up in the sea. And what's really funny to me, there's a bunch of facts, and I'm not going to get into all of them, but over 100,000 marine animals are killed by plastic bags annually. That's just plastic bags. And so what's really crazy is, like, I've been hooking up with some other companies, and I see a lot of people trying to do things. You got 4Ocean, they sell bracelets. And
Those are the cats in Long Beach, right? Or they do the big cleanup in Long Beach.
I don't know.
Yeah,
They're huge.
there's
Long
a
Beach Surf Rider Central. That's Long Beach.
That's the one I'm
That's
talking
who I
about,
work
yeah.
with on Sunday. That's a good little group. They're good. I very like them. They're very conscious, very nice, very supportive of me. That's who I was with in Port Washington. 4Ocean's gigantic.
Yes,
they're in Bali.
huge.
There's 2 surfers. And that's not a nonprofit. So people don't realize, it's a $20 bracelet, and I'm not knocking them at all because their cause is very good. But that's a business, okay? So what they're doing is saying, okay, buy the fucking Wookiee bracelet, or buy the sea turtle bracelet, or buy the wolf one for $20, and you're going to save these wolves. And what's actually cool, they team up. How they do it, they almost outsource it. So like, hey, save the owls, and they pay X amount to this owl company. So it's cool. It builds credibility.
Yeah.
But bro, this is a big money business. You're playing into saving the owls. You don't know how much money that's going into it. $20, and these guys are
Probably
killing
giving like
it.
$1.
Maybe.
Yeah, but you know what? If it's a private company profiting on it, they're putting way more work into it than a nonprofit. They're trying to make a buck.
I don't know.
If they're hustling and they build something globally, you know what I mean?
I don't know, and I'm not knocking it. So
Yeah.
I don't want to keep that to a negative thing, because anybody who's doing that, it's a great thing. It's better than owning a fucking
at least
gas
it's still a
station.
positive.
Right,
Yeah.
and I'm not knocking what they're doing, but I'm just saying people have to be careful where they put their money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That $20 in a much smaller organization might, that $20
true.
in my
Might
That's
go
world,
much longer way.
Yeah, that's true.
huge, and would have affected a lot of more people possibly. So I'm not knocking them at all, but that's the biggest company out right now. That's all everybody knows. But that's it. You buy a bracelet, you do a beach cleanup with Britton, and that's it. No, man, we got to change all our ways daily, and it's extremely hard and extremely difficult. But unless everybody does it globally, we are screwed. We are screwed. So Hopefully something big happens here soon. Shit, to be honest with you, I hope I find a solution. I hope I come back next week and like, hey guys, I figured it out.
We'll have you right back on.
We're good.
I appreciate that, Ed.
Come on.
Might gain a few more followers.
By 5,300.
But yeah,
We'll be on a list.
That's
to
truly
have
what
them on.
I know. I'm probably leaving some stuff out, but yeah, that's my mission, man, to figure out this plastic crisis, and hopefully Jay Inslee gets elected. It's not happening, but I really hope that people at least check him out. He's the governor of Washington, and
maybe he becomes the VP.
that'd be great. Except that's probably going to be a Republican also.
Probably.
No, just don't be Trump again. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't really, honestly, for my topic, it really doesn't matter. This is something that has to be done globally. You know, we need a global thing. You know, unfortunately, the president of the United States should be that. We are no longer that. We've isolated ourselves a lot over the last 4 years, 3 years. But yeah, that's it, man.
So can you talk to me about what some better daily practices might be that people can do
There you go.
to jumpstart helping out?
Great one. This is a big one. A Keurig. How many people use Keurigs a day?
I actually don't,
Yeah.
but I know a lot of people do.
A lot of people do.
I know
Tons.
they waste.
The
Yeah, it's
pods.
all waste.
Do you know the owner of that has been on suicide watch for 2 years?
Really?
He sold that company in 1997 for $50,000. So I thought maybe that was a suicide watch. No,
I thought he was on
it's actually-
suicide watch because the
Then it's
environment.
blame
and I don't mean to put any joke on that at all, but what had happened, this guy realized how much damage he's single-handedly done to the environment. Because when you look at 2 or 3 Keurigs a day, every household, times that by millions.
Office buildings.
Dude, you're talking, like we said, states worth, just him alone. So you think that's just one person, dude. Like, yeah. So let's stop using a Keurig, make your coffee, put it in a reusable mug. When you go to I do this all the time. Dunkin' Donuts, 7-Eleven, oh, dude, just keep a mug in your car. Rinse it out with water. You go in. First of all, it's cheaper when you bring your own mug. Dunkin' Donuts, bring a mug. Mason jars. I use them for everything. Bro, they're awesome. They're awesome. They're fun.
You know what was
Yeah.
great about Hummus Fit?
Yeah.
You get the overnight oats. Every single one came with a mason jar.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally cool. Totally cool. But those little things alone, the coffee lids, the plastic, you don't have to use all of it. You got to, unfortunately, when you do Uber Eats, let's say, or you do something, you got to ask them, I don't need 17 plastic forks for a salad. I don't need 25 ketchups. I'm allergic to it. So we have to just start taking action. And it's got to be everybody. But you know what? People are very lazy and don't want to do it. It's very hard for guys like me because you're like, I'm not perfect, man. My footprint's huge. I'm trying to work on it every day. I don't drive an electric car. I wish I did. You know what I mean?
I have a V8. I'm an asshole.
Well, no, I'm just saying, but
I'm no better.
you know what? There are solutions, but I think the water bottles is a huge one. Just the thing on that alone is really huge.
I started buying. I'm like dead ass. I bought the half-gallon Yeti because there was a water cooler at work when I still had my day job, and even at home I had one of the pure filters. So I would literally just be cycling water throughout my house, pouring it into the Yeti, and it made it easier. Well, I wasn't dumping $4 of water at Bev's or you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like
true.
that adds up alone for not only financially for me, but what am I going to do with that? Dave from Bev's, you were going to link up with Dave Malkiel, right? Dave from the front desk.
I know Dave. Yeah,
he was going to try and link up with you when he was in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
He's big on the.
Dave's huge on it.
Yeah, he actually does the recycling at Bev's. He brings it out.
Well, he actually, I think he does so. I think they're making a house or something with that. Because here's the thing with where we're really duped is your recycling places are not recycling anything, and it's really sad.
It's not reassuring.
It's not at all. And I know, man. I know
Listen,
places that work there. that just
Get
laughing.
dark. Be real.
Listen, it's just they're not doing it. They're just throwing it out. So I got 2 more little facts for you, then I'm going to stop. I promise.
No, dude.
You're
You
good.
keep going, baby.
Scare some motherfuckers.
So Americans use 100 billion plastic bags a year. That requires 12 million barrels of oil to manufacture. So there's another piece to this too, is the amount of oil that we use to produce this plastic. It's all coming down to the same thing. It's what plastic is made out of. This is crazy, and I actually just found this out today. It only takes about 14 plastic bags for the equivalent of gas required to drive 1 mile. That's nuts.
Say that again. One more time.
It only takes about 14 plastic bags for the equivalent of the gas required to drive 1 mile. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Someone find out how to use that for gas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tell me.
But exactly.
I know.
That's exactly it. What do we do with this shit? Because it's not going anywhere. We're going to use it. So what do we create out of it?
Maybe some type of a car that runs off plastic.
Something, that's where I'm going with this. I want to find a solution. You know what I mean?
Talk to Elon, man.
I really do.
I'm banking on you.
I've been emailing Elon. He's just not hitting me back, man. I hit him on that.
See, we're not Joe Rogan podcast yet, man.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
See, if we had Joe Rogan's pull, I'd just be like,
you're better than Joe Rogan. Forget about Joe. You're Nick Rizzles.
There you go.
Let's put it like this. I won't do Joe's podcast if he asks.
Oh,
Okay?
I like
Out of
that.
respect for you. Okay. Out of respect for you.
Thank
A
you.
non-complete.
Okay.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
Joe can come on our podcast.
Joe,
Oh, if he wants.
Joe, if you pay me enough for it, I will do it.
Joe, let us know.
I have zero loyalty, Joe. Go ahead.
Send the check.
If
There you go.
you get me Elon, and we could send a spaceship full of trash up there.
So now here's the question. Now
Yes.
wouldn't that get? You'd have to do it far enough into space where it wouldn't get
I'm
trapped
not
in
sure
the
how the
atmosphere.
solar system works, but
I'm
I'm
not
pretty
either.
sure it's better off there than here.
You ever see WALL-E?
Yeah.
Remember when he goes through all the trash surrounding the Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know, but I don't know.
Shoot it to the sun.
Yeah,
do something.
That's either a really good idea or a really bad idea.
Just do something. That's the bottom line. Is do something. All of it. That's really a good message to leave with. It's do something, even if it's one little thing a day. Just do something, man. You know, there's no reason when we go to, fast food restaurants that we know we're staying, they're not serving on a plate. Why not? What the fuck's the difference?
Yeah, they actually, when I got my sushi just before I came here, they tried to give me a bag. I'm like, no, I'm eating here. I was like, I don't need it.
No, you chuck it.
Yeah.
So you know what? It's everywhere. It's ugly. It's deep. It's dark. But we can fix it, man. We're the last generation to do this, and I love this. When I started this, I went into my work, and we had these little tiny plastic cups and this little filtered water thing, and I went up to the owner. I said, "Hey, man," I was like, if I gave you money for the difference, could we switch these plastic cups out to paper cups?" And he looks at me and goes, "Oh, you're one of them." And I'm like,
One of what?
Yeah, you know what? I am one of those people who gives a shit
Trying
about
to
the planet.
save, trying to save us.
You have 4-year-old kids. I don't have kids. I'm not gonna listen. I want to be way dead before this truly affects us, and that's just the reality of it. But I don't want to be a martyr. I don't want them to be like, "Oh man, I remember this guy was hooting and hollering, and I didn't take any action." I know I've affected a lot of ways that people act right now, even a few thousand followers or whatever. There's people that message me every day, "Yo, Britt, I did this. I made my kid pick up 5 pieces of trash," and that's great. And that's great. That's what a lot of these companies are based on, keeping everything positive. But I'm a realist, man. You know what I mean? I want to fucking fix it. So being happy, la la la.
You don't want to be like the medical industry. You don't want to put a Band-Aid on it.
No,
You wanna-
man.
Find a cure.
I want to expose it. You know what? If your kids only have 30 more years going to the beach, you know what? Go to the beach every goddamn day with your kids. You know what I mean? That's really where I'm at with it. Let's not fake it.
That's why I'm boating every Sunday.
I'm
I'm drunk on a boat somewhere.
Yeah, let's not fake it. You know what I mean? So, you guys got any more questions for me?
I don't know, John. Do you know?
Oh.
Anything going on? If you're interested in going to Bangkok, flights are pretty cheap, $650.
Dude, I wish. I want to go somewhere.
I'm going 10 days. Originally, like I said, I was going to go to Bangkok, then Mumbai. Mumbai has a lot of recycling solutions. Ran into some visa issues today, so I'm going to do all Bangkok and probably have a little fun doing it too.
Yeah. You're going to send me pictures from a Ladyboy show? I'm going to get a random text from Britton.
I'm sorry, what?
During the time zone difference. I'm going to wake up to it.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
like,
It is. There is a 12 hours. I promise to share more than I should. How's that sound?
Yes, please
I will
do.
do Instagram stories, so it's not as permanent.
Yeah, or
fair.
or just slide in my DMs.
Okay, I'll do
Me
it.
and
There
John.
you go.
You
There
sound
you
like-
go.
Just understand that there's a 12-hour difference, which makes communication extremely difficult.
when I was in Hawaii, 6 hours behind felt like
Yeah.
decades.
Yeah, dude, well, in
crazy.
the Philippines, it was 13 hours. So it's literally like when you think to communicate to someone, you're like, "Oh, it's 2 a.m. there." You're like, "Oh, heavens."
Yeah. Well, I guess I have no friends right now.
Well, I guess I'll drink.
Be very lonely now. Yes. So yeah, that's it, man. I'm on a mission. I got I have a website that I'm developing. I don't believe those are as powerful as they used to be. Kind of like some articles that I've written. I think people just aren't reading.
I was going to say, plug
plug the website.
plug
Plug
yourself,
everything.
say
Yeah,
social, everything.
People aren't reading. My Instagram is @BrittonKelly, my name, BrittonKelley. Facebook, the same thing. Right now, those are the 2 that I got. I'm working on Don't Be the Hamster in the Wheel.net and .org and .com. That encompasses a lot of different things, not just a plastic solution, but the ways we live our life and the way people choose to, I hate to say it, but the way a lot of people impersonate themselves and they approach their life and they get up every day and do things they have to do instead of things they want to do. And what I have is way more than just the plastic and the pollution stuff. But until I get a head start on this, I can't really delve into
The minutiae.
that.
and
Yeah,
everything.
you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're taught in high school to get a really good job, to go work for somebody really big, to make a lot of money so we could buy a lot of shit. and then be fucking stuck for the rest of your life.
And miserable.
Buy what's plastic.
Right. So why can't they teach us how to invest in real estate, travel, do your taxes, and stocks? And when you get out of high school, you don't work. You do.
That's not the American dream.
It's not. But I've seen a lot of guys living the American dream right now, and it ain't it.
I know a bunch that are doing finance, and they absolutely hate their lives.
Yeah. No.
Well,
I mean, I see.
The teachers knew what to do it; they wouldn't be teaching it.
No, exactly. And honestly, I see guys. I have clients. I'm a personal trainer, also taking on clients, just so you guys know. 917-921-9685. Text me first. I'm much better through text.
No nudies.
Oh, not yet.
Depends.
Now you put it out there.
Come on, that's not putting the rules on. I'm just telling you, no rules. But yeah, that's the stuff with that. But again, it's very dynamic. I do like to show people a different way to live your life, and I affect a lot of kids this way. I say, listen, before you get caught up in the get married right away or go buy the house right away, go live your life a little bit and see what you're not going to know. 20 years old, you don't know who the hell you are. 30 years old, you don't know who the hell you are. I just turned 42. I'm starting to figure out who I am. And the crazy thing about age is you get older and your body gets beat up, but fuck, you get so much smarter. And you're just like, man, if I actually got what I wanted in my mid-20s, I'd be a piece of shit right now. Truly, if I wanted that fame and that money and the cars and all the dumb shit, it doesn't mean anything.
The experiences make the man.
Nah, it means nothing. You still got to get out of the ride. You still got to be something. You got to be a man of value. And thank God I feel like I'm that to a lot of people.
I love that. that.
Drops Mike.
Don't drop it. It's too expensive.
Buys us a new one.
Well, I appreciate it, guys.
Well, dude, listen.
Yeah.
I know this has been very heavy, to hear for a lot of people, because a lot of people don't want to face the reality that we may not have a lot of time, and we're probably out of time. And realistically, it's making these conscious decisions and efforts on a daily basis to help the future generations, whether you're gonna have kids or not. It's still our part as somebody that got to live on this amazing planet.
Right.
Yeah, man.
And I may not be, I actually I hate nature, and I'm gonna preface it with this. I don't hate nature because I want to see it dead.
Right.
I just don't like shit that's gonna kill me. Like, I'm not a fan of snakes jumping out in Arizona. Right. I don't like bears and mountain lions running around.
Don't go to Costa Rica.
I'm not. I'm so.
You know what? You
wild
don't want
dogs
to go
everywhere.
back.
Why do you think I stay in the middle of Long Island? There's like nothing there but like a stray cat.
Yeah. Okay.
But
you freak out a little bit, and you're all right.
Yeah, I do love nature. I'll probably be seeing some tiger and elephant sanctuary, so you're uninvited to Bangkok.
That's fine.
Okay?
Send me pictures.
Stay home and
along with the lady boys.
Stay home in Syosset or wherever.
But actually, real quick side story. So I was in Hawaii, and when you go down to Hawaii on vacation, it's a lot of Japanese and a lot of Australians on vacation. That's like their vacation spot.
Yeah.
So when I was doing all the excursions and I was running around and doing the snorkeling was actually, we went to like 70, 80 foot waters. And we snorkeled there. So it was dope. But like the first thing the guy said was, he's like, all right, you guys are all ready to jump in, blah, blah, blah. I jump in, and I'm a very good swimmer. However, I've never really been in that deep open water.
Yeah.
So it's just like, whoa, freaks you out for a hot second. So I went back to the boat. I was like, okay, I got this. I'm good, So I get back on the boat, and there's two Australian dudes. And all of a sudden, the guy goes, I think there's a white tip reef shark at the bottom.
Yeah, no.
The two Australians jump in. I bet I could touch its tail. I was like, yo, these people are fucking nuts.
Yeah. I tell you, I do recommend, and you wouldn't like this, but I did get the experience of going swimming with whale sharks in the Philippines.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That is cool.
I wanted to do that in Mexico.
Savage, but it's awesome.
I wanted to do that in Mexico, but it's so freaky being in open water like that. That freaks me out.
Yeah, no, this would freak
no
out,
idea.
especially when they touch you. They're like slimy, huge.
Well, they said if I did it in Mexico, you weren't allowed to like touch them, go near them.
But you know what?
Yeah, when this thing whacked you with its tail.
When it
not on purpose.
Swims right into you, there's nothing you can do.
You get a fishy
just
bus.
Push it. It kept on doing it. The guys are watching. Like, I don't know what I can do.
Don't go over. Excuse
Start getting
me.
allegations and charges against it.
But
Britton touched the whale shark.
But no, there's no allegations or charges or anything down there. Well, it's actually considered unethical the way they do it there, because they actually feed them. So what they do, they line it up. But here's and again, you could look at that either way. It's unethical, whatever. But they spend half the money to raise awareness to help them. But what happens is they just feed them. So there's whale sharks there all day, every day. But then you have thousands of people. So they created a tourism industry. So you could look at it either way. But being in a place like that where these people would help you for no reason whatsoever, and probably some of the most hospitable people in the world.
And you did this where? Oh,
this
Philippines.
Is the Philippines. However, there's no Wi-Fi. It's fucking nuclear hot, and all those little luxuries like air conditioning you won't have unless you stay on the resort. Which
So pack light, aka underwear.
Don't go. How's that one? Go to the Mexico one.
Yeah,
no,
there you go.
I love the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines, but I love Costa Rica. Okay, that's it. That was a plug for Costa Rica too. Please
fucking love it.
Please don't
Yeah.
move there.
Well, I'm gonna let
was it.
John kick this out. Outro. Listen, I'm gonna say it again. Britton, absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
for
for coming on, man.
schooling us on some knowledge that I did not have.
Thanks.
And I appreciate you going around and trying to gain some type of insight on what you can do to save and help the planet, not
Yeah.
just clean a beach up. So it means a lot
Appreciate that, guys.
because I plan to have kids one day. So
You should.
I want to, and I'm gonna make sure that they fucking pick up their goddamn trash and they throw it in.
should.
They throw it into the recycling, the proper receptacle.
You should make
Little
sure they
assholes.
have a job when they're 12 years old and pay for the rent.
You're already yelling at him.
Yeah, I'm already yelling at them.
Wait.
Little pieces of shit.
You guys forgot to tell me I was in airplane mode.
Yeah, well, we,
Oh, we're gonna wait till the
still
end.
We're
live.
not- yeah, we're still live.
Yeah, my bad.
John,
No,
take it off.
we got to restart now. We got to restart.
All
So, Britton, thank you for coming on, man.
Thanks, bro.
This is being the 11th episode of The Voice.
And Rizzles.
Signing off until next time.
Peace.
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 Peace.